Good day. I am standing on the banks of the River Tamar on the cusp of leaving Cornwall. But before I do so, there's just one more forgotten town that needs our attention.
Saltash, Cornwall. Population 15,919. Rank number 644.
So, we start from our position looking over the Hams, where the estuaries of the Tamar and Tavy meet, to Plymouth, most assuredly in Devon. But for all the conflict over scone etiquette and ubiquitous Cornish flags and bumper stickers over here, both sides of the Tamar seem pleased to now avoid the huge road trip or ferry crossing, which would in former times have been necessary when going back and forth. This is facilitated by the magnificent structures above me, nearest being Brunel's 1859 Royal Albert Rail Bridge, and the 20th century road crossing beyond it. That is a 100-foot plus elevation, which I shall now attempt to ascend via a very steep road. We find a GWR train about to cross the bridge. Some 165 years after it was built. The bridge, not the train. There she chugs. Next stop, Plymouth. The Buildings of England Cornwall volume bemoans the passing of the contrast between the rail bridge and the small scale of shoreline fishing village and high-level town which accompanied it, found on Pevsner's original visit in 1951, and its replacement by the road bridge, associated redevelopment, and the fact that this is now no longer a dead end for traffic. However, the bustle of passing trade, accompanied by the smiling faces of locals knowing that they can summon an Uber to enjoy all the tawdry amenity that the modern age can offer just the other side of the river, seems to tell a different story. Here we find Elliot's shop, described as a rare opportunity to experience the exact interior of a general grocery store, which was run by the same family from 1902 until the shop was closed by Mr. Frank Elliot in 1973 because he did not like the idea of decimalisation. He sounds like a very stout fellow. As we make our way through town, we may be struck by the blandness of post-war infill commercial premises, but explanation comes here by way of benches commemorating events of 1941, when the inaccuracy of German bombers aiming for the rail bridge failed to stop the trains, but did bring a premature end to the lives of 9 civilians and 4 firemen, also wrecking the look and feel of Upper 4th Street's architecture in the process. Veering away from the bustle of the main drag with its multiple pasty shops and heading back down towards the car, I find the appropriately named Two Bridges public house.
See, that sounds even worse. I would have thought after the menage a trois in Benidorm, you'd be more sensible. Hello.
We won't ask what.
No, don't.
All right, I'll have half of the gold, please. Whilst we retire to a quiet corner, leaving the inmates to their banter, we have a few moments to pause and reflect, starting with a rummage through the post bag, whose contents this week seem to be dominated by the subject of Mr. Murray of Bodmin. See episode 952. Mr. Sylvain of the Isle of Wight wonders whether this was the same Keith Murray whose vocal stylings for never-popular landfill indie rockers, We Are Scientists, propelled them to a string of chart misses in the first decade of this century. We put the question to the man himself.
No.
Well, I hope that has answered your inquiry. And so, like Alexander the Great, this is Alexander Rennie with no more towns in Cornwall left to conquer. But I'm not going to weep salt tears over Saltash. I'm just going to say thanks and goodbye to my Cornish support party and use available transport options to cross back over the Tamar. However, whilst 9 of my 10 remaining English towns are in Devon, see forgottentowns.org for details. I'll be leaving them for another season as I return to the northeast, determined to finally bag the one that got away. So I look forward to closing this series with you next time in Bedlington. Thanks very much, then. Cheerio.
Get down, get way down.